And welcome back everyone. We have another test for you today. So we will be testing AVG Internet Security, and it's going up against the latest version of Iobit Malware Fighter, which is version 9. So let's quickly have a look see at AVG settings. Okay, so this is the latest product version as well. We did update AVG before recording this video. Okay, so we have made one exception for our script. Basic protection, it's on high sensitivity, fix automatically, cyber capture is enabled, anti-rootkit and all of that is enabled as well. For PUPs, the same goes for that. Okay, file shield is enabled, behavior shield is enabled, web shield is enabled, email shield, scans, so for deep scan, everything is enabled, set to high settings. So as you guys can see, okay, we're not going to look at the other ones because we're only going to do a deep scan. So ransomware protection is enabled, set to smart mode, and these are the file extensions that are being protected. Network inspector is enabled, enhanced firewall is enabled, and it's set to smart mode. Under full protection, password protection is enabled, remote access shield is enabled, webcam protection, sensitive data shield, and fake website shield. So that is that for AVG. So we'll have a look at Iobit. Okay, let's have a look at the settings. Okay, so we made sure that we have our notifications and things enabled, scan options, high priority, advanced heuristics as well. Auto scan, we disabled that. No whitelist, no quarantine list. Protect is set to protect all files and to enable their DOG and to automatically process threats. No remembered actions, notifications, show notifications, and that's about it. Okay, so as you guys can see, we have all the protection enabled, all the pro features, MBR guard, camera guard, and so forth. Okay, so the new version has a beta sandbox, so you can run something inside the sandbox if you want to test or demo it, just to make sure it won't cause any harm to the machine. Okay, so and also our features for our browser has also been enabled, and this is just the scan function. So for malware today, we have 1457 samples. This also includes the latest Z loaders, Purplefox, coin miners, Teslas, all of that. So we're going to quickly extract all the malware and then we'll continue the test. Okay guys, I think we're ready to rumble. Just maybe before we start, let me just maybe show the anti-ransomware engine settings. I did not show that. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so anti-ransomware engine, these are the folders that are protected and these are the file extensions by default. I can't find a way for you to make any modifications to it, but these are just enabled by default. So that's the anti-ransomware engine. So let's just quickly maybe make sure that everything is up to date. I want to check for product updates as well. Okay, so Iobit is now fully up to date. There are no updates for AVG. So that is up to date. Let's maybe just make sure that there's no more updates. Okay, AVG is ready. I'm gonna enable the protection. Okay, so Iobit is up to date. Let's enable the protection, turn on real time. Okay, so just to quickly show Iobit protection modules, as you guys can see, Iobit anti-ransomware Bitdefender is enabled. This is the new Bitdefender engine. The version 9 states that it's got the new updated Bitdefender engine. The Iobit engine is, I think, 50% less on CPU resources and 33% faster scanning. Couple other real-time shield protections. So there is improvements according to Iobit from version 8. So let's hope that is the case. Okay, so everything is still up to date. I'm gonna close this. Okay. Sorry guys, I accidentally moved the script. Okay, let's just wait for these two to finish. If there's anything interesting, I'll point it out to you guys, but for now I'm just going to let them execute all the malware. Okay guys, I think the test is finally done for Iobit. Unfortunately, as I'm looking at the screen, I can see a ransomware infection, files being encrypted. So it seems like it's the same ransomware again that makes it look like your files are all exile files. Iobit is not starting up. Obviously the machine on its own just restarted, so I didn't restart the Iobit machine. It randomly just did that during the test, so I think it's over and done for Iobit, unfortunately. So it doesn't seem like it could actually do anything with the new Bitdefender engine, which is pretty sad. We all know the Bitdefender engine is really good. Yeah, so these are all our samples. All of them are infected, and if they are not, they most probably will be, because I think the ransomware is still running. And Iobit is not even showing here anymore. Yeah, so as you guys can see, the files are being encrypted. I'm not scrolling down or anything. You can see that the files are being changed. Okay, let's maybe scroll down a bit more so we can see that. Okay, so as you guys can see, slowly but surely the files are being changed. So I'm not scrolling down or anything, but yeah, you can see the files, the extensions are being changed, and the icons are also changing. Okay, so definitely ransomware is still running. It's busy encrypting the files. There we go. We've got 4 more in our view. It does take a bit of time, obviously. Okay, 2 more, 3 more, and 1 more. No point in waiting for that one. They all will be encrypted eventually. In the next, I would say, 5 to 10 minutes, all of these files will be encrypted. Wow, that was actually a very short test. Let's quickly look at our files. Downloads is infected. Documents are infected except this one, but it most probably will get encrypted a bit later on. And our pictures are also encrypted. Let's see what the README has to say. Okay, all your files have been encrypted. Maybe they say which type of ransomware it is. No, they don't really say which ransomware it is, but it is with file extension, so it changes like to a Microsoft Excel sheet. So yeah, that's really sad, guys. I really was hoping Iobit would put up a fight, but yeah, randomly restarted, and as soon as it came up, there was a couple of PowerShell scripts, and I kind of got the idea that this is not looking good. And yeah, it's definitely not looking good. We have only 2 programs that we can still maybe use for third-party scans. Maybe I can get the Komodo one going, but Malwarebytes and Heatman Pro, I can't even get Iobit open, so I don't think I'm going to do a scan with Iobit. If I can't get it open, there's no point. So this test is concluded. Sorry guys, for Iobit, I'm going to start the third-party opinion scans just for interest sake. I'm going to start it. This machine's already infected, no point rebooting and things like that. AVG is still executing malware. Hopefully once it's done, then we can do the scans for and AVG is done with the test. Okay, so I did manage to play around with Iobit. I wanted to see if I was able to get it right, so I installed it. It's working again, but even after it was installed, the files were still being encrypted by ransomware, so even with it running, it wasn't able to protect the machine from that Excel type of ransomware. So I was trying to do a scan, but it's stuck, so I just did a reset on the VM. So I'm just gonna close all the open things for AVG. Okay guys, I'm just gonna close all of this. I think I'm gonna do a quick restart. This thread was failed to remove. But before we do close everything, let's just see what the condition of the machine is before that. Okay, so I'm not sure if that's maybe malware. 2 out of 72 could just be a new one that's not labeled yet. Can't see anything else. Let's look at startup. Okay, so we only have one PowerShell startup, so that's good. I'm not too worried about PowerShell starting up. Okay, so we'll check this file with VirusTotal at the end. So I'm just going to restart, start a full scan with AVG. I'm going to see if I can do a scan with Iobit, and then I'll let you guys know. Alright, and we are finally done. Okay, so let's look at AVG on the left. Obviously did much better than Iobit. So for AVG, it is randomly still giving this pop-up, so I think there might still be a persistent threat that's not being removed. So it looks like it can't really remove it, but it's more containing the problem. Okay, so let's see if we do get that AVG pop-up again. So not that many malware left, so only malware on the desktop. So doesn't seem like Hitman Pro is picking up anything else. So for Iobit, obviously 2 malware for startup, app data as well, and then here under app data and app data, and yeah, so a couple of malware under app data. Let's close this one. As you guys can see, yet again it's popping it up, but now obviously the origin is from a different location. So it's obviously an exploit, so it might be a rootkit maybe, because it seems like it's persistent. We'll close it. So that is a bit worrying. Yeah, here we go again. So it seems like AVG is blocking the problem but not actually removing the problem. Okay, so let's move on. So for Norton, this is this Chinese app again. It seems like it's got something to do with music. Obviously this is not my language. We'll look at virus total. So I've uploaded the file. Seems like Silence, Dr. Web, Maxicare, McCarthy, Panda, Viper, these vendors rated as a generic malware or unwanted, so it's a good chance that it's just like a PUP, because it's either labeling it some sort of a generic type of malware, but all these other vendors have not labeled it, including AVG, Avast AVG / undetected, Komodo undetected, but Defender undetected, MSciSoft, ESET, F-Secure, so all the other big names have not labeled this as malware. So I think it's just maybe a PUP at worst. Quickly looked at all the details and the behavior, and it just looks like it is behavior maybe of a PUP, so I'm not really labeling it as malware. Just gonna leave it as a PUP, but according to Norton it is a high threat, because obviously the location looks obviously weird. This is not your normal generic naming convention for a folder. So for me, I also definitely don't want this on my machine. No way that I'll trust it, but let's just maybe label it as a PUP. Okay, so that's Norton, that's the only problem. See again, AVG is giving us our little pop-up. Let's look at MSciSoft. Maybe here we might find that persistent problem. So under app data again, so it could be any one of these malware that's triggering that AVG pop-up. So we've got 3 in app data and malware on the desktop, and then yeah, scheduled tasks. So that might be due to that, because normally your scheduled tasks are your fileless malware, and then hence the PowerShell. So I think that all goes hand in hand. So this is scheduled task, most probably trying to execute something that uses PowerShell for that fileless type of attack. So I think it might be one of these ones. Chrome updater. So yeah, could be any one of these ones. So I think MSciSoft might be the one that actually picked it up. Doesn't seem like Hitman Pro or Norton did. So let's look at Malwarebytes. So now we can share like for like. So it's got all up again. So desktop. So yeah, doesn't seem like Malwarebytes is picking it up either. It looks like MSciSoft might be our best bet to actually stop this pop-up from happening, because clearly it's now different again, and it looks like it wants to communicate out on the firewall. Okay, so there is definitely something persistent. AVG keeps blocking it, as you guys can see. For Iobit, there's obviously something in program files, things that are installed, program data, a bunch of stuff on the program data. Still going down. Program data. App data roaming. So a lot of spyware, backdoor, some nasty things here. Okay, schedule tasks as well. Okay, a couple of registry keys. Quite a bit of registry keys. Okay, so yeah, so that's about results for Iobit. So yeah, as I did mention that I was able to get it installed again, but as you guys can see, our wallpaper is black. We have this Excel type of ransomware. Iobit is open. I did do a smart scan. The full scan was just taking way too long, so I did a smart scan. It did remove malware. I did a smart scan again and it didn't find anything. So let's quickly maybe see under settings, quarantined list. Sorry, this machine is a bit slow, and obviously we still have this PowerShell open here, but you can't really open it. So this is the malware that was quarantined by Iobit. Obviously app data, that was part of the smart scan. So yeah, so we have malware in the quarantine, but it looks like it was all in vain. We'll close that. Okay, so I think MSISoft might remove it. Let's maybe let's look at our files quickly. So these are the malware samples. As you guys can see, they were all zip files once upon a time, but now they're all just fake Excel files. Downloads, documents are screwed. Somehow this document survived. That's really weird. Pictures, nothing survived. So obviously MSISoft obviously didn't survive either. So let's see, desktop, that's good. Downloads, that's good. I actually downloaded that file, so that's me. Document seems intact. AVG seems to have done its job for ransomware problems. Let's look at our startup items. Process Explorer is unfortunately encrypted. I'm not going to copy it over because it's quite obvious that this machine is definitely defeated. Let's look at AVG. Okay, startup items for Iobit. Quite a bit. Couple of PowerShells. Couple of nasty things. I don't think that's Patrick from SpongeBob, Starfish. Okay. Okay, let's look at AVG startup. For AVG, there was only the one PowerShell item startup, which I showed. Now, after the scans, the PowerShell is gone, so no funny startups for AVG, so that's good. Let's see at things that I might be running. It's not displaying. Okay, untick it. Okay, there you go. Okay, so again we have this pop-up. Let's maybe see if it stops if we use MSISoft to quarantine the malware. What do you guys think? Let's maybe try that. Okay, quarantine selected. Let's maybe see. Let's see if we can help AVG a bit. Okay, while we wait for that, doesn't seem like we can get a rating yet, but that's fine. Let's spot it with the naked eye. Okay, so obviously the only funny thing that my eye can spot is this player, obviously, this Chinese 77 music player, which is obviously, it seems like it's launching every time. So that's the only one that my eye can see. So I think still very good results from AVG. Let's just see after MSISoft quarantined these threads, if this pop-up stops, then we know at least one of those scheduled tasks was the one that triggered this. I just want to see for interest sake. But so yeah, while we wait for this, let's look at the cons and pros for both of these products. So it seems like AVG did really well, in my opinion. We unfortunately have this annoying pop-up, so if you're a normal user at home, you're going to get this pop-up every time. It's a bit annoying. Doesn't seem like AVG is able to remove it with the full scan, and even though the real-time shield is giving us this pop-ups, it doesn't seem like it's actually detecting the problem and where it's coming from. Oh yeah, now we've got a PowerShell. That is quite odd. Okay, so this could just be because MSISoft accessed that file, real-time shield picked it up and it quarantined the issue, so I'm not too worried about that. But these PowerShells that have randomly come up is a bit dodgy. Let's see what happens. So I can understand if MSISoft actually accessed the file and the real-time shield of AVG is picking up, so that is quite normal. Let's see if it can quarantine. Okay. Okay, so MSISoft actually quarantined all the threads, but it doesn't seem like it helped. We're still getting this pop-up, so yeah, this is not ideal. But I don't think I'm gonna completely fail AVG just because of that. The system in essence is clean. The third-party opinion scanners don't actually pick up anything. So those are the pros, but unfortunately the con for AVG is this continuous PowerShell pop-up. You might need to clean it with another vendor to get rid of that pop-up. But I would say not bad by AVG, and definitely better than Iobit. We don't have ransomware infection. This machine is totally screwed. I had to reinstall Iobit just to kind of give it a chance. And yeah, so let me know what you guys thought about this video. I would still give AVG a pass, but barely, on the skin of the teeth type of thing. It slipped through. This is the only concern for me. But there's no funny startups, no registry keys, no ransomware infection, no other malware. It's just this weird pop-up of the PowerShell, which doesn't seem to go away. So I would give AVG a pass this time. But for Iobit, unfortunately, I cannot give it a pass. It failed barely 30 minutes into the video. So unfortunately cannot give it a pass. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this video. It was informative, but unfortunately cannot recommend Malwarebytes, which is sad. Malwarebytes, sorry, Iobit Malware Fighter. I cannot recommend it. The improvement list seemed promising for Iobit, but yeah, Iobit version 8 was just as bad. Version 9, although it's 9.0, so obviously they'll make improvements, but I can't see any improvement really. It didn't do well at all, so unfortunately cannot recommend this product. The free version would even be even worse because it doesn't even have the Bitdefender engine. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this video, if it was informative, if you guys actually learned something from it, and see what products is good and not good. But I would say AVG didn't do bad at all, and it deserves a recommendation, but hopefully they can improve things like this. But yeah, otherwise, let us know guys for any more tests, and then I'll see you guys in the next video.